Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new Savior Zaps video. Today's video will be a little bit different than usual. You know, you guys know me, I'm always playing the game or something like that. But today I'll be doing something music-wise. As you guys can see, we have a tier list up in front of us. We'll be doing a Kanye Omari West album tier list. Alright, now I want to mention two things. One is we do not have any of his unreleased albums on here. I know the hardcore Kanye fans, they want to see that, but this tier list doesn't really have that. And two, I wouldn't really want it on here anyways because yeah, it's unreleased and it's his bodies of work just not released, but it's not official. It's not an official album. It didn't officially drop, so no unreleased. And plus, this tier list doesn't have Donda 2. It doesn't have Donda 2, which, whatever. It was gonna go down to the D tier anyways. As a matter of fact, I don't know why this is switched up to D and C tier. There we go. Alright. But yeah, Donda 2 is not on here, but that would have been D tier anyways. That would have been, bottom of the barrel. Anyways, we're gonna start from the most recent to the oldest. So basically, we're just gonna start from Vultures 2 and just work our way to the top. So we have Vultures 2, right? We're gonna start with that. Vultures 2, I feel as though was really just lazy, really half done, barely any creativity. My main gripe with this album was that 530 was one of his popular leaks, and it was unfinished, and it was valid because it's a leak. So, obviously it's not finished, but the man dropped it on the album. He put it on the album, and it still wasn't finished. And it was okay, what the fuck? And then apparently he went over it again, but with AI, and then, this, that, and the third. So that rubbed people the wrong way. I feel as though this album has been carried by, and you might hear me say that quite often as we do this tier list, but I feel as though Vultures 2 has been carried by Ty Dolla $ign. Ty Dolla $ign does a great job. He does his part really well. The features are great too. I enjoy them, so there's that. It's just Kanye just doesn't show up half the time, to me, my personal opinion. Don't scorn me for it, but yeah, Kanye doesn't show up. He shows up when he wants to in this album. Again, Ty and the features, they do their thing. They make this album tolerable, I should say. I have Vultures 2. Same with, no, that's not Vultures 2. That's Vultures 1. We have Vultures 2. Same with Donda 2. Let's just pretend Donda 2 is here. Vultures 2, D tier. So Vultures 1 is better than Vultures 2. It has some of my favorite tracks on there, like Carnival, Problematic, Vultures. I think Stars is on there as well. I like Stars. Talking is a nice little fun track from, Northwest. I feel as though Kanye has put more effort into Vultures 1 than he did with 2. Vultures 1 seems just a bit more polished. Again, Ty and the features, they did their thing, but they didn't exactly carry. They didn't do a hard carry like they did with Vultures 2. Vultures 1, Kanye definitely shows up. And for me, I have Vultures 1 as C tier. That's what I have Vultures 1 as C tier. Donda 1, I feel as though, is the last album that Kanye has put any effort in terms of just the songs and the production, and the rollout at the time was all just legendary. Back in 2021, it was amazing. It was beautiful, the rollout and just the songs. My only gripe about it is, and I think with everyone else, is that the album is too long. The base album, because there's two albums, it's the Donda, then Donda Deluxe. The base album is long enough, and then Deluxe adds a few more songs, which adds one of my favorite songs of all time, is Life of the Party. But Donda is a long listening chore, basically. I've noticed that when people talk about Donda, they talk about how long the album is, and it feels like a chore. I admit I didn't listen to the whole thing in one sitting. I definitely gave it a few tracks here and there. That's about it. But yeah, Donda was definitely a chore to listen to, but it was worth it. I'm not gonna say it was a bad thing. It was worth it. It has really great tracks. I mean, I can't name all of them. Again, 30 song album. But we got Off the Grid, 24, Lord I Need You, I think that's what it's called. What else? Jail, like Jail, Moon, Hurricane, okay. Listen, the album is good. I feel as though if it was just a bit more condensed and better paced, it would have been a lot better album. And who knows? And listen, I'm not like behind the scenes with it. Maybe they could have done Donda 2 with some tracks from Donda 1. That's how big Donda 1 album is. They could have done Donda 1 and Donda 2. But that's just me, my opinion. I don't know shit. I don't know shit. Alright? I don't. We're gonna put Donda at B tier. That's what we're gonna do. B tier. I think that's a good spot. We have next Jesus is King. Jesus is King was, I would say, a weird time, a weird era in Kanye's career, his life. You know, I mean, the man's always known for crashing out on the internet, right? But so I'm not gonna single out this one moment in time, but it was just a weird era. It was. I mean, the man announced that he was gonna drop Yandi, didn't. I think Yandi turned into Jesus is King. I don't know the whole spiel with that, but the man said he was gonna drop a gospel album. Did we need one? No, but when it dropped, we loved it. We did. Some of my favorite tracks is on there as well. Not all time, but like, you know, top 20, top 30, you know what I mean? Jesus is King has probably one of the best like track runs in terms of the album. I mean, what's first? I mean, it's Selah, then, you know, Follow God, not in that order, but like, you know, you have that, and then after the 3-track run on the album, you know, some like one or two filler tracks, and then you have God Is, and then Eclipse Reunion, you know what I mean? Like, so listen, Jesus is King is a good album. It's a good gospel album, really good songs on there. If you want to feel holy on a Sunday, you go to that album, right? And again, for all the hardcore hip-hop fans, you get the reunion of the Clips. I know that means a lot to the hardcore hip-hop folks out there, so it was that, and then that, you know, it's crazy looking back, right? Getting the reunion of the Clips, and then thinking now, like, you know, they just dropped an album, you know, like God Tore Them Out, and it's crazy because, like, you know, it was not teased, but rumored that, you know, they were gonna come back as a duo, drop an album, and long and behold, 6 years later, they did that. So Jesus is King will be in the same tier as Donda. We have Jesus King at B. Now we have, all right, so these next two projects, I'm gonna try and keep it short and sweet, because like these two albums dropped like within a 2-month radius. They did. I mean, it was the Wyoming era. You got Kids See Ghost, the collab album with Kid Cudi and Ye. So you got these two albums. They dropped within two months of each other. And honestly, like, I feel as though, I think, what was it? Kids See Ghost? I think Kids See Ghost dropped first, and then Ye. I don't know. Don't, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Kids See Ghost dropped first, and then Ye. But I feel as though this is just, that was just one big album. That's how I see it. I don't know, because like I get the same vibe that I get from Kids See Ghost that I get with Ye. I love both albums. I love them both. I've listened to them to no end, to the point where I had to like stop listening to the albums. But yeah, I mean the rollout, the era, that Wyoming era was special indeed, because Kanye was certainly at a peak. Again, still wilding on Twitter, whatever. But certainly at a peak with, you know, music, because he helped produce, you know, Kids See Ghost, Ye, Daytona, Tiana Taylor's album, Nas's album, you know what I mean? So the man was definitely on a run of summer 2018. Kids See Ghost and Ye, Kids See Ghost, Kid Cudi, the Ye duo, the dynamic, it fit like a glove. Love the album. Same with Ye. Ye was a very great album. Ye has Ghost Town, one of my favorite tracks of all time, Ghost Town. So we'll put Kids See Ghost at A tier, and we'll put Ye also at A tier. So now we're on to the life of Pablo. Guys, I tell you what, I was a senior in high school. It was like February 2016. The Life of Pablo listening party, Madison Square Garden. Witnessed it, experienced it. I wasn't there live, I'm not saying that, but it was just a time to be alive during the Life of Pablo era. I mean, it was 2016. 2016 was already hailed as such a great year. I mean, shit. The worst day of 2016, you're going to a Jay-Z concert or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, so, the Life of Pablo, I think, was some sort of, I see it as some sort of, like, revival for Kanye West. I feel as though, you know, after everything he's been through, at that point in time, and beforehand, like, I feel as though he was going through a lot, you know. I mean, it's 2016. Yeah, so he was, like, you know, still, you know, dealing with his mother's loss, and then started a family, and then, you know, clothing brand and all that. Like, I feel as though this was when he really truly started to, like, revive himself as a man in his career, you know what I mean? So the Life of Pablo started off great, you know. Father Stretched My Hand, Ultralight Beam is such a beautiful song. I like the album from front to back, really good. Too many bangers on there to name. I mean, we have No More Parties in LA, 30 Hours, we have Saint Pablo, we have Wolves, and yeah, so the features also carried, production carried. I feel as though Kanye and his team was just firing off on all cylinders with the Life of Pablo. Life of Pablo for me goes directly up to the A tier. So yeah, there's that. Yeezus. I'll tell you what, right? When I started becoming a Kanye fan, right, I've always avoided the Yeezus album because I've heard people talk about it, and at the time it was like very mixed reviews about Yeezus from the critics. So I avoided, my mistake, because when I finally got into Yeezus, I didn't know how great it was. I mean, it really did grow on me. It did. I only knew, at the time, again, I was a fresh Kanye fan. At the time, I knew it had bangers like, you know, Bound, Blood on the Leaves and all that, but I didn't know it had everything else. When I got into the album, I realized how against the grain that album is. Yeezus is such against the grain. It's very in your face, loud, brash. I mean, what is there to say about Yeezus? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the first person to talk about these albums, so I'm not saying anything like, you know, new or woke or cliche, you know what I mean? So I got Yeezus as a top 5 album, maybe, if you catch him on a good day. So Yeezus for me goes B tier. We have Watch the Throne. Side note too, we also missed out on Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer's not on here because that's not really a Kanye West album. That's more so him and his label. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I should have said that in the beginning alongside with Donda 2, but it is what it is. Anyways, we have Watch the Throne. Watch the Throne, literally, like, it fed generations. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you have two powerhouses in hip-hop, you know, Jay-Z, Kanye West. It was like a friendly competition between themselves of who can spit better on each track on their fucking album. And they both did what they did best. I mean, Jay-Z, you know, spat his bars the way he could, thrived in it. Same with Kanye West, spat his bars, thrived in it. And again, like I said with Kid Cudi, like, they both fit like a glove. Watch the Throne 2 was, I remember being rumored, I forgot when, it was like 2021, I think, like around Donda era. I remember that was being rumored, but, you know, that didn't really come to fruition. I feel as though Kanye is not that great with sequels. He is not that great with sequels. We have Watch the Throne at A tier. Up next, we have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Listen, I'm not even gonna, look, watch the fucking screen, okay? How about that? How about that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. This album right here was the absolute pinnacle. Y'all know about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Shits. Y'all know. So it's like, why do I have to explain that album? You guys already know. My favorite, all-time favorite song on that album is Power. I remember hearing that song back, what was it, 2011? Saints Row the Third, that beginning mission, you know, when you first fucking play it. My God. All right, anyways. My Beautiful Dark Twisted, whatever the fuck, S tier. Next up, we have 808s and Heartbreak. Nothing hits like 808s in the wintertime. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you're walking down the street downtown of your city, you know, snow is covering the street, the sidewalk. the sun goes down at like 2 o'clock p.m. You know what I mean? And you got fucking street lights playing in your fucking... Listen, 808s smacks like it's cracking the fucking 80s. I'm just saying. The trilogy, the college trilogy, comparing to 808s, I mean, they were really successful compared to 808s. 808s didn't really do that great commercially, but it was one of those albums like Yeezus in a way, where like it grew on you. You know what I mean? You listened to it, you know, you felt the emotion, you know, you felt the energy, the vibe, right? So, again, one of those albums where it's like, it's one of those sleeper albums, but it grows on you. It's a classic. To me, it's a classic. I love 808s. And yeah, we have 808s at B tier. Next up, the very last of the college trilogy, Graduation. Graduation, I feel as though, was another pinnacle, another peak, besides My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It was just another peak early in Kanye's career, because, you know, obviously this 3 albums in, Kanye was already Kanye. He was established, already a main star, a big star. And I don't know, I feel as though during this era when he was young and hungry and all that, he really thrived in his creativity, his music. You know, he genuinely cared. I'm not saying he didn't care with his other projects. I'm not saying that, like later on in his career. I'm saying that this man in the beginning truly did care about what he was putting out, and it showed in this college trilogy. I mean, Graduation from front to back, again, I think is another flawless album, another perfect album. Not much to say about Graduation. Again, like, if I say what everyone else is saying, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. You guys already know. We got Graduation at S tier. Up next, we have Late Registration, the sequel to College Dropout. Again, not much to say about this album. The sequel to College Dropout, a part of the trilogy, you know what I mean? You guys already know what this album's about. There's not much to say. What already has been said has been said. We have Late Registration at A tier. Up next, we have College Dropout, the debut album of Kanye West. Another perfect album in this man's discography. So to me, this man's entire discography, he has 3 perfect albums. To me, that's just my opinion. Again, I'm not saying anything crazy. I'm not the pioneer of this shit. College Dropout to me goes S tier. That's the complete tier list. Again, we missed out on The Cruel Summer because that's not really a Kanye album. Any unreleased and Donda 2, but Donda 2 will be D tier anyways. So this right here is the tier list that I've come up with. Again, my personal opinion. There are certain things that I wanted to touch up on certain albums, but I didn't want to make this video super long. I just didn't. So here it is, folks. The tier list. If you enjoyed the video, if you made it this far, like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate you so much. If you guys want to see more tier lists of any other thing too, not just music, it can be wrestling, it could be video games, it could be anything. If you guys want to see more tier lists, comment down below, let me know, and I can come up with some ideas. Anyways, guys, once again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.